Canada's federal government has been making a big push to get Canadians to drive electric cars. Today, we're going to be talking about that new mandate that Ottawa's put forward. As well, we're going to be talking about whether or not consumers actually want these vehicles and if there's alternative ideas. Here to chat with me about it today is David Booth. He's a senior writer at driving.ca, as well as my colleague Dom Lucyk, who works with me at secondstreet.org. He's going to be chatting about some new research that we've been working on. Thank you both for coming here to chat about this here today. Dom, why don't we get you to start off by talking about what Ottawa's mandate actually is?
Yeah, so the long and short of it, Colin, is that the federal government has decided they want to ban gas powered cars. By 2035, they want to make it illegal to sell a new gas powered car at a dealership in Canada. So they want to replace that with zero emission vehicles. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be an electric car. Hydrogen is an alternative, for example. However, the federal government has made it very clear in their messaging and in their policy that they want to push all Canadians to drive electric cars. They've given out billions of dollars in subsidies to electric vehicle battery plants. And they've said that this mandate will, quote, require all Canadians to embrace the change and go electric.
Okay, and so David, from where you sit, obviously you follow the automotive sector very, very closely. Um, where are Canadians at right now in terms of purchasing electric vehicles versus where Ottawa wants us to go? Are consumers responding?
Yes and no. Right now, the headline number is 10.5% of all sales across Canada are what they call ZEVs. Um, Now, a few contentious subjects about that seemingly good number is that also includes, besides battery electrics, plug-in hybrids. Now, it's funny, the people that promote ZEVs always count plug-in hybrids when they want to boast of the number of ZEVs that are being sold. Like I said, 10.5%. They never count PHEVs when they're talking about the emissions level, because PHEVs are going to be banned after 2035 as well. Right now, of the 10.5%, I think it's 7.8% is battery powered and 2.7% is plug-in hybrids. The big thing is that for the last 3 quarters or so, battery electrics have actually declined a little bit, while PHEVs have surged quite a bit, which is why the overall number is increasing, but the number of BEVs is actually less than it was 3 or 4 quarters ago.
And so for those that might not know that term, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle means that I could, if I own this vehicle, I could either fill it with gas or I could charge it and use both forms of energy. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically, a plug-in hybrid has a medium-sized battery, much bigger than a regular hybrid, usually between about 15 and 30 kilowatt hours, compared to, say, a Tesla that has 100, and can go anywhere from, say, 50 kilometers to the best I've seen, which was on a Mercedes 450e, about 100 kilometers on pure electricity. And then automatically it just kicks into gasoline mode when you run out of that juice. Charge it up in the morning, and again, you go 50 to 100 kilometers. It's a good compromise. It really is.
Okay. And so what about on the other end of the spectrum, David? Not the consumer side, but on the producer side, are automotive makers responding to mandates like the one that Ottawa's brought in, and I believe some states in the US have brought in this too? Are these vehicles even going to be available in enough supply?
Um, wow, that's a 2 hour question. I'll try to keep it to a minute. There have been huge incentives, of which Canada is matching them. Dom talked about building battery plants here in Canada and spending a lot of money. There are 2 plants so far, still main plants, Stellantis and Volkswagen. There's also Northvolt that's just announced. And basically, we're going to pay the total amount I know for Stellantis and Volkswagen is 28.2 billion Canadian dollars over about 10 years as a running subsidy. Basically $45 per kilowatt hour for every battery they produce over the next 10 years. So, and down in the States, there's just been a mad rush to collect on these dollars that are being offered by the Inflation Reduction Act to build new plants. My guess, if the slowdown in EV sales that's happening right now doesn't turn out
David,
to be
sorry to interrupt. We got
temporary.
to take a break, but we'll follow up on this point in just a moment.